Okay, there was some discussion about a hole dug in the yard for a tree that mysteriously fills with water. I couldn't determine that there was a water leak in the water supply system by looking at the meter, although it was an electronic meter. So my hands are kind of tied in that regard. So I come over here and I look at the mysterious hole in the backyard that was dug for a tree. And since the drainage goes out the front and the water supply comes from the front, we're left to assume that the most probable cause would be the lawn irrigation system. Well, at first pass, I'm looking in here and I'm looking for lawn irrigation piping, and I'm not seeing any. But I do see a tube over here. Obviously, it looks like we might have a drip irrigation system here. And that tube has been broken, so it won't leak all the time, but every time this zone comes on for the lawn sprinkler system, this looks like that might be where the water source is coming from. I'm going to run the lawn sprinkler system. I don't usually do a video of it, but I'm going to run the lawn sprinkler system and we'll be able to determine if that might in fact be where the mysterious water is coming from. We're at the southwest corner of the house. Okay. Does that grading and drainage look like it's performing satisfactory to you? Because it doesn't look like it's performing satisfactory to me. This is a monolithic slab house, unless I can find some clues somewhere. I see some, a little single nail hole. So this was actually a post-tension cable slab. There's a couple different styles. And we've gone around and we put this parge coat around it. And parge coat's very, it's a cake frosting. It's an aesthetic. And just because it's cracked doesn't mean your foundation's cracked. And if it's not cracked, it doesn't mean your foundation isn't cracked either. Rain gutters should discharge about 6-8 feet away from the structure. I get it, that might not be practical. They have other solutions where they go underneath the ground and then they pop up. Obviously, besides dog turds, but obviously water's been sitting along here. We're going to talk about some grading and drainage. That's what we're going to do. I like to talk about it. It seems like I like to talk about it. I end up talking about it quite often. When this porch column comes down, I don't know if it has a stand underneath it because we have a little apron put around it, kind of like a coping, so I get that. It's kind of aesthetic. It makes it pretty, hopefully that's to hide the stand so we don't have an unsightly stand. So hopefully that's a good thing. And I got a covered porch here. Got out grill. We got the gas port to the outside patio grill. After that port, after that valve, I don't inspect the gas piping. This appliance is beyond the scope of this inspection, but I would check myself. I would check with the manufacturer to see if it's rated to be operated underneath the roof covering. Some of them are, and some of them aren't. And so I would see what the manufacturer has to say about it. And then I would probably go ahead and use it anyway. But best practice would be to put it out in the yard to operate it. I've been having some pretty good luck with the GFCIs in the garage and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. Occupied house, it's always a dangerous move. But now we know it's GFCI protected. See the retaining wall? The retaining wall is beyond the scope of this inspection. I don't do surveys. But common knowledge rule of thumb, if it extends beyond, you want to check your deed to see if that belongs to the community. Is it a Tennessee and common system? Or if it belongs to an individual. And if it belongs to an individual, usually whoever's land the wall is retaining, the high ground, is usually that person's responsibility. But that's not absolute. I can't make that call. I can make that the retaining wall is farther from the house than twice its height. So this retaining wall, in theory, should have no effect on the structure's performance, so it's beyond me. Moving on along. We got double pane vinyl windows, and it's all brick. We're missing some sealant right in here. We're missing some sealant. I'm thinking this is the primary bedroom, so I'm going to say on my recording, I might say differently. Primary bedroom, south wall, east window, east side of the window frame. It's not sealed between the window and the brickwork. I'm going to come back and get an image of that, still image. Rain gutter does not discharge water far enough away. You see, builders, they get grading usually, not all of them. But it's rare that you find a builder that understands drainage. This is not an example of drainage. It's not even an example of poor drainage. This is an example of no drainage. Now the builder, some builders, will say, if it doesn't dry within 24 hours, we consider that to be a problem. With the problem with that is the builder's not talking about drainage. He's talking about evaporation. We're talking about swamp management. Okay? Swamp. When water stays and collects this close to the house, and you can tell by the ground, look, nice yard, nice, none. All right? All the roots are rotting out. Okay? It has a negative effect on the foundation. Oh, we scored them with chemicals. We put some stuff in there because we were having problems because you didn't have grading and drainage. That's why you're having problems. If it doesn't dry up, if it doesn't evaporate within 48 hours, we could say, oh, well, our insurance, our home warranty company does not have a problem with this. Oh, really? Your home warranty company does not have a problem with this. Is that right? Well, who owns your home warranty company? ABC. Oh. Doesn't ABC own your building company too? Oh, yes, but they're separate. One hand doesn't wash the other. No. This is not drainage. This does not fit the definition of drainage. We come along here, I see wood mulch. I see all this wood mulch over here. You know, they're managing mud. They're filling it up. And even this isn't draining. The builder can come and say it wouldn't drain because they put the wood mulch in. No, they were addressing a problem the best way they knew how. The problem, this is a symptom of the problem. This is not the cause of the problem. It's just not. It's just not. Moving on along. Well, I'm glad I got this. Okay, again, 70 PSI. You're supposed to let it set for a while. I didn't realize I was doing that, but I'm glad I got my tools. Rain gutter does not discharge water far enough away. See this crack right here? Okay, that's a shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. That does not affect the foundation. Okay, the concrete and the masonry shrink and expand at different rates at different times for different reasons. So they're never together in lockstep 100%. The pressure comes out somewhere, it comes out here. That's an aesthetic issue. It might be a masonry issue if the crack is holding up the brickwork. You might want to patch it. It's even a termite issue, because termites can use that void to come up and attack the house. But that's not a foundation issue. Now, I haven't measured the floor. I haven't operated any windows. I'm going to be surprised if I find a foundation issue except for the grading and drainage. But I might. We're going to look. Trees should not be closer to a structure than 25 feet. The leaves will grow up. Right now they're cute little kittens. The leaves will grow up. They're going to rip all your shingles off. They're going to rub up against your fascia. The roots are going to go up underneath the house and steal the moisture that you need, because you're supposed to maintain an even amount of moisture and underneath the slab foundation. So trees can be a problem. The wrong tree in the wrong place can be a problem. I'm looking at trees in front of every one of these houses. It would be reasonable to assume that the homeowners association requires that you have a tree right there. You may not be able to move that tree. You probably don't want to move that tree, but that tree is too close. That's what I'm here to talk about. I'm not doing a wood destroying insect pest control inspection. I'm not. The house is too new for it. I wasn't hired for it, but I am licensed. I can talk about it. Where do termites live? In the ground. Oh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Oh. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. That's called a clue. That's called a clue. Yes, I get it. People like wood mulch in their flower beds. I get it. You put it there on purpose. I get all that. But know that this is conducive to wood destroying insects. It's especially, notably, it's conducive to subterranean termites. Going along. I like this. See the way these rain gutters go down below grade and they pop up. Okay, that might not be practical everywhere, but you do need something like that over here. You do need something like that over here. All right. And then I've seen some of them that extend out and they have pins in them, so you can take them off so that the lawn company can come out and mow and stuff. There's different ways, to skin a cat, but still, those are too close. This is one way to correct the problem. This illustrates one way to correct the problem. Moving on along. Everything's looking pretty nice. Our lintels are supposed to extend 6 inches. I wonder if I still have a tape measure on me. Lintels are supposed to extend 6 inches past. A lintel is this metal thing right here between the brickwork. Oh, look at that. Lintels are supposed to extend 6 inches, not 4 inches. Not 4 inches, 6 inches are supposed to extend past that to support. It's the metal support that's holding the brickwork up, the masonry. Also, the National Brick Institute, 4 inches again, has measured the other one. I know it is. The Brick Institute says that you should have a weep screed between the lintel and the brickwork to keep rust from forming like that. But they say at a minimum you can have weep holes. They say the best thing to do is put a weep screed. I have yet to see a weep screed. And a lot of time, not every time, but luckily some people at least have weep holes. So you do have weep holes over your lintel, at least. And the lintel does not extend 6 inches past the corner. Coming along here, again, we're managing a problem. We're managing a problem with mulch. In fact, we're down here, almost where we started. What is this? That's a whiskey stick. A whiskey stick. Or a spirit stick, because they put alcohol in there. It's a level. And our level is level. It's a 6 foot level. We got level ground within 6 feet. That's what floor covering industry uses, so that's why I carry a 6 foot stick. So I want to have meaningful data, and my data says this is level. This is level. We don't have enough pitch for drainage. I get it. Your warranty company. I get it. You are anticipating evaporation. I get it. All those excuses, but there is no reason to have your yard level like this. All excuses aside.